going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, of course, I hate starting off the video with a Chargers injury update, but of course, death, taxes, and Chargers getting injured. So their third round pick, the linebacker out of Michigan, Junior Colson, apparently left practice the other day, like 40-something minutes into it. Was able to walk off on his own, but they still took him out because they thought it was serious enough that he could re-injure it even worse or get it even worse done. So yes, luckily they did take him out, and as of right now I haven't really heard anything. It's been like about a day or so, so hopefully we won't hear anything more crazy about this injury, because that's just what the Chargers need. This guy was definitely a steal in that third round, the captain of that Michigan defense that won the championship with his now new head coach in the NFL, Jim Harbaugh, and was looking to most likely lead this defense at some point this season, if not in the most definite near future. But yes, hopefully he will be 100% soon enough. Then the ex-Duke basketball player Jason Tatum was recently named an All-NBA first team. There are 3 levels, but he was one of the top 5 guys in the NBA according to all the voting. So that's good for him. I'm pretty sure it's going to help him out when it comes to restructuring a new deal, because I guess whenever you get on any of those All-NBA lists, your contract price pretty much goes up higher. So yeah, it looks more and more unlikely that he's going to be coming to the Lakers anytime soon, because I'm sure the Celtics can just offer him way more money, which is pretty crazy. But either way, congrats to him, and yes, congrats to him and the Celtics again. In Game 1, they were able to get that victory, luckily, against the Indiana Pacers in overtime, 133-128. Jason Tatum had 36 points and 12 rebounds as well. So yeah, they were pretty much having the lead for most of the game. Then Indiana came back, and then Indiana kind of fumbled the ball literally towards the end of regulation, and they pretty much did the same thing towards the end of overtime, and Celtics had to make a crazy shot just to even get it into overtime from Brown, but Tatum stepped up in that overtime as well. I think he had like 8 or some odd points, so good for him. Yes, it does suck that I have to report good news about the Celtics. I would not have minded seeing them go down 0-1 to start the Eastern Conference Finals, but they look like they could be good, so hopefully Indiana's spirit isn't hurt that much and they will be able to compete the rest of the series moving on forward. And Duke baseball was playing yesterday against Virginia Tech. They ended up getting that victory 11-8, which was nice, because when I started watching, they were down like 5-1, 5-2, something like that. So they made a nice rally to continue into this ACC tournament. I don't know exactly who is their next opponent, but I guess we'll find out soon enough, and I'll update you when that happens. And when it comes to recruiting news for the football side, a top 75 overall player edge in Bryce Davis recently said he was going to commit around July 20th, somewhere around there. And he only has 3 schools in his final list, and Duke, of all teams, is one of those finalists, so that's pretty good for them. Hopefully they will be able to snag one of the better players out there in the next recruiting cycle. And then when it came to On3's recruiting rankings for the ACC, they have Duke at number 11 in the ACC, which is pretty interesting just because I thought they'd done pretty well recruiting-wise, but I guess they are lower-end 3-star, maybe 4-star recruits. But it is the first season for Coach Manny Diaz, so hopefully he will be able to get some guys like, as we mentioned, Bryce Davis into those next future classes, and we'll be able to build up a nice team down there in Durham. And when it came to the Lakers coaching situation, and obviously involves Duke's J.J. Redick, apparently they feel like he could have that type of Pat Riley potential when it comes to starting right away and being productive right away and winning a lot in your first couple of seasons, kind of like how he did when he became the Lakers head coach pretty soon in his career, because he stopped pretty early. Well, according to that Showtime show on HBO, that's what I remember. He kind of stopped playing early, was a play-by-play analyst for the Lakers, got a shot to become an assistant coach, then eventually the head coach, and was doing pretty good in back-to-back, championships here and there and all this stuff. But yeah, I don't know if Redick is going to have that much success right away, because he does have an aging star, not like a rising star in Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that Pat Riley had at the time. But if they really think that highly of Redick as in the Lakers, then it looks like he's the most likely the first candidate that they're going to try to go after. I'm pretty sure they have to wait until the playoffs are over because I don't think he can specifically talk about certain players in the NBA that aren't part of his team. So him being an analyst during this finals run for ESPN and ABC will not make much sense. So I'm assuming if they don't pick a guy before the finals end, then it looks like it's most likely going to be JJ Redick, which I'm not horribly mad about. I am excited to see what he can do, but it is his first time. I would have rather him try to get another job somewhere else before this, but it looks like he's getting a full ride to see what he can do, so we'll see what happens. And just today, I believe Anthony Davis, or actually the other day, he was named an all-defensive second-team player in the NBA, which is nice. You're considered a top 10 defensive player in all of the league, so that was a good accomplishment for him. Definitely deserved to be a finalist in that Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. And both him and LeBron were named all NBA players, top 15 players in the league this last season. Anthony Davis was a second-team All-NBA player, and LeBron James was a third-team All-NBA player. So yeah, I think he's the youngest to ever get an All-NBA selection, and now he is the oldest to get an All-NBA selection. I think he has 20 overall in that career span, so that's like the most in NBA history as well. So yes, LeBron's still making history. Still don't know exactly if he's going to keep that player option and stick with the Lakers or restructure a deal and, try to stay another year or two with them. You just never know, but yeah, things are getting pretty interesting on that front. A notable NBA guy out there, Eric Pincus, recently said that Chris Paul to the Lakers is a real possibility. It's kind of the type of news you would like to hear like a decade or so ago, or even 15 years ago when it looked like it was about to happen for the Lakers when they were trying to trade for him until the NBA stopped it. But yeah, I guess it could be okay because he showed he can still somewhat play and start for you a little bit, not play full-time starter minutes, but maybe start a game, play throughout the second and third quarter a little bit, but then try to close it for you as well to maybe help out LeBron so he doesn't have to, carry the ball the entire game, especially down the stretch. But I don't know. We'll see where that goes. And I think the Lakers have the 9th best betting odds to get a player from Oklahoma City in Josh Giddey, where, I don't know, I know he had this offseason thing where there's something to deal with a minor that happened while he was in California, and there was this whole thing, and he never got suspended or stopped playing, and I don't know if it went to the courts or if it was settled or anything like that, but it was kind of like maybe as to why he wasn't playing as well throughout the season. And he did okay during the playoffs, not great, especially for how good he was the past couple of seasons before all this stuff ended up happening off the court. But I guess if the Lakers are somewhat betting favorites, did a Fanspo mock draft and had them just pretty much trading Gabe Vincent to Oklahoma City, which probably won't mind this trade just because they get a veteran point guard to help out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and that benched. So I think it could probably do this straight up. Lakers save a couple $1 million, which would be nice, but maybe you'd have to throw in a first round pick, which I don't know if they would even really want to accept any more first round picks because Oklahoma has so many freaking picks the next couple of years already in the first and second round. So maybe the Lakers can almost get a first round pick from them, which would be pretty nice, but you never know, so we'll have to wait and see. And there were other rumors about the Atlanta center Clint Capella maybe being on the trade block, so of course I did a little quick mock trade on fanspo.com as well. I have Clint Capella, AJ Griffin, and Bojan Bogdanovic going to LA, then D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Jalen Hood-Schifino, most likely a first round pick all the way to Atlanta. I don't know if that first round pick would be this season's, most likely in the 2024 or a future one, but you get an expiring contract in Capella. who can help you out, maybe start for you alongside Davis, who would probably prefer to play at the 4 and not the center position. So he could help you out more like the rebounding and, lobs and dunks and putbacks here and there. And AJ Griffin is obviously an ex-Duke player who pretty much got drafted in the first round, I think, because he was one of the better three-point shooting percentage players out there coming out of college after his freshman year. But for some reason hasn't been able to get out there, get much playing time. So they're willing to give up on a guy like this because they have to pay a couple other guys, and they have been paying a couple other guys before this contract is going to be coming up soon for Griffin. So I don't mind them taking a chance on him if he is available. Along with Bogdanovich, they've tried to get him even when he was with the Sacramento Kings and they weren't able to, but he could definitely help them out. He's a good ball handler as well, a taller guard to help out LeBron in the backcourt, so I would not mind this trade at all. And one of Tom DeLonge's side projects he did pretty early before the first time he left Blink-182 was Boxcar Racer. It was just a different time for him to make a CD about different other subjects and what he was dealing with in Blink-182 or singing about, and then also a different sound as well that he didn't think he was going to be able to try it out with them. But even though he did get Travis Barker, the drummer of Blink-182, to be the drummer of Boxcar Racer, but that album came out 22 years ago the other day, and obviously they came out with that song I Feel So Mad and all that stuff. That was one of their popular songs, but they have like a lot of good songs on that album as well. Tiny Voices, Letters to God, all that stuff too. So yeah, it's definitely a good CD. I never really even knew how good that CD was till I knew I was going to be driving a long way, threw in the CD and listened to it fully, and definitely was surprised even like a handful of years later after it officially came out in the early 2000s. So yeah, I was surprised then, still love it, still rock it out till this day. If you're willing to listen to something pretty good, definitely go check it out. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.